name is Joe Mitchell, owner of Gastronauts Dispensary, and I just stepped in the Breakroom. Back in around like 2018, my brother got hit by a drunk driver. He was walking to the store. He ended up breaking like both of his legs and everything in his knee, like his ACL, his MCL, all of that. Then he ended up going to the hospital, and then they told him that he was like, oh, you probably not gonna be able to walk for like a year or whatever. So they did a surgery, and then they put like some metal rods in his leg, and they still said like, yeah, you still won't be able to walk. They started giving him like all of those like opioids and stuff. And then he started like being like a drug addict with that shit. Like, and I always really been against like drugs. So what I did was I ended up finding him like CBD gummies. And then over the time, like it probably like 2-3 weeks, he started walking. He wasn't walking like a normal person, but he was like kind of like standing up, and the doctors were surprised. Like he was going like to his second doctor visit or whatever. And the doctor was surprised that he was walking, and they was asking him what he was doing, but he never told them. Oh, he runs. He be running. Let's just say it helped. You tell me, you read between the lines. The doctor said it's going to take you a year to walk based on their medication. He tried this and he walking in a couple weeks. So I mean, I'm not saying it cured him, but in order to start a dispensary in Texas, you have to first get an LLC, then you go or a DBA. Then the next step is finding your location. You find your location, and you have to find that before you get the certification, because they want to have an address for the license, and then where you're doing business out of. So you find the location, and then once you do that, then you go to the Department of State Health and Human Services, DSHS, and you apply for a hemp retailer license. And with that hemp retailer license, you're able to legally purchase and sell hemp in the state of Texas. Next, you would need a sales tax license. I started like looking into how to actually like be compliant. I did that. I did that for probably about like 6 months to like 8 months. And then I thought about, I was trying to figure out how I could start this dispensary. So I landed with the Gastronauts name. So then I decided that I wanted to figure out how I can get my own location, which that was the most challenging part. And that's what took the longest. But it was difficult because a lot of places didn't want to rent to dispensaries. So I kept getting no. And then eventually I found this place. Once I got the space, then that's when the challenges started. The first challenge was finding a reliable contractor to help me start the process of building. I didn't really know anybody because I never been in this type of space. This is my first retail location. So I was having like issues with that. So what I did was I asked my neighbors in the parking lot next to me, like, hey, who helped build y'all spaces out? And then they told me. That ended up being a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie to you, that shit was crazy. But I used their initial contractor, to build everything out. We discussed the price. We did everything. Like he started the process. He did some of the work, and then he would stop, and then he'd say, "Oh, I need more money." And he would continuously do that, right? And then so it was in pieces. So I would give him I had all the money at once, but I was like, I'm not about to give him no large lump sum of money. So what I had to do was I had to break it down so that oh, hey, here, do this section, do the floors, do this, do that. And, what ended up happening was he did some of the work. So it ended up starting to cost me more and more money because, like I'm paying rent at this time. I'm paying the rent, not making any money from the space. And also, I'm paying to build the space out. And then all of a sudden he like ghosted me. I gave him a payment to do some stuff. He ghosted me. And then, so I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. And I'm kind of like, all right, let me just wait a little bit, see if he come back. But he was like, oh, I got to go out of town, blah, blah. He went out of town and just didn't. And then he wouldn't answer the phone, nothing like that. He wouldn't text back, answer the phone, nothing. So I'm like, man, I can't just sit here. So I just said, all right, I'm going to start doing some of this work myself. And I just started doing like little stuff that I could here and there. I had zero background in construction. I ain't never did none of this stuff, but I just said, fuck it, I'm finna do it myself. I'm one of the people that like, I just like to figure things out. Like if nobody gonna help me do it, I'm gonna figure it out. So that's basically what I did. And, and then I had a couple other people come in that like with certain stuff. So like with the floors, right? So with the floors, basically that was one thing that I had a lot of, I put a lot of work into doing it. I didn't personally like mastermind it. I hired somebody and then I helped him in the process. So now I know how to do my own floors if I ever need to do it again in the future. You know what I'm saying? I could probably do your floors too. No, let me stop playing. But, I actually helped with the floors because he knew what to do, how to mix the stuff and all that. He had the equipment to do it. And instead of me buying all this equipment, I was like, here, I just pay him to do it because I'm not a person I don't do floors. I want to open a dispensary. So I paid him to use his equipment. And then I learned like basically how to mix the cement and all of that stuff. Then I poured it on the floor. And then, I messed up too a little bit. I messed up a lot of stuff. But it's cool. People don't even realize it's messed up. But I also did, the borders around this. I looked that up on YouTube. Nobody helped me with that except YouTube. Appreciate y'all. No, I never really struggled with, support or motivation because I grew up as an independent type of child. So something about me, like I have naturally a lot of mental fortitude. And just for reference, when I was like 5, it was nobody around to teach me how to ride a bike, right? Nobody wouldn't teach me. Everybody kept saying, no, I'm not going to teach you. So I used to cry and be like, man, why nobody won't help me learn how to ride a bike? And then one day I just said, man, I'm about to just get on this bike and do it myself. And then I learned how to ride a bike by myself. As a kid, I kept falling off, scraping my knees, my arms, I was just scraped up by the time I figured out how to do it, but I did it. And to really think about it, like I thought about that like a couple years ago. I'm like, man, like I've overcame a lot of challenges just by just saying like, I'm not going to give up. So I've brought that with me through life, honestly. And I've achieved like basically everything that I wanted to achieve. I made to set higher goals so I could go become a billionaire or something, but outside of that, like I've achieved basically everything I wanted to achieve. Getting things done and making things happen is simply that. You just have to do it. Like, how would you ever know you can't do something? Like at one point you weren't able to walk, but you walking now. You don't even think about it. At one point you weren't able to talk. Now you talking. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a matter of you getting out and attempting to like do the thing. I wouldn't say it's the best decision I made, but I feel like it's a great decision to make because one thing that I can say is that one thing that people are not going to stop doing is smoking. The last job I had before I started the dispensary was in 2018 when I worked at CVS, and I was a manager for like a week, and then I just quit. I was like, man, I'm getting up out of here. This 9-to-5 stuff ain't for me. I don't know. I feel like it's a trauma thing for me to struggle, but I actually enjoy starting, like being an entrepreneur and starting something and then building that and then going through that, like that hard, like growth phase, you know, like you plant a seed and it's fighting to get out the soil. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically, I like that part of the business. Like a lot of times I start stuff And then I grow it to a certain point, and then I get bored and I go to the next thing. And I started again. So that's why I kind of feel like it's a trauma thing. Cause I'm like, I like the fight. And it kind of like give you like a Jeezy trap or die mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like you be in that type of shit, like, man, I gotta get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you in grind mode. So like, it becomes something that's just like, I don't know, like it's just in your DNA. Like I don't feel like you can learn to be that way. I feel like it's something that you just are. You naturally already got something. And it's nothing to knock people that do 9 to 5s because they like anything that I'm saying, like because 9 to 5s are necessary, and then some people need that security, but like I don't need no security. I bet on me. Like I don't give a damn. I bet everything on me and roll them dice. And if I lose it, I lose it. Then that means I'm about to get back in my trap or die mentality. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. If I could give one piece of advice to entrepreneurs, it would be to basically jump off the porch. Those 9 to 5s is going away faster and faster. You dispensable, but in your business, you the primary. You the only thing constant in your business is you. Without you, your business wouldn't run. But without you, Walmart's still gonna be going. HEB still gonna be moving. Sonic still gonna be moving. Like all of these businesses still gonna go without you. But if you do your own thing, you build your own thing, then you have something that you could pass down. Cause even with the job, like you could be a master at your job. You could be the CEO of that company, but you can't pass that shit down to your kids though. You could work for these people for 30, 40, 50 years, and then they'll fire you right before you retire. And then now you end up working till you die. But if you work for yourself and your business and you build that for 30 to 40, 50 years, now you got a 30, 40, 50 year old business that's most likely going to be thriving. You got a better chance of retirement and living a good life than working for someone specifically. But that's only for the people who have the idea to like want to be their own boss. You're going to work way more hours than you're working probably right now and for way less money in the beginning. But in the end, it pay off because everything is needed. Like they sell bottle cap, the bottle cap on a bottle, that person a billionaire, but you don't even know who it is. It don't matter because they started a business and they made money from that business. And it's just that simple. And they don't necessarily have to start a business because like not a retail location or a grow or something unless they're passionate about that. But I feel like they could easily just start a connoisseur channel if they love hemp. Like that means they're most likely going to be connoisseurs. So they can, and if they're not, then they can go learn to be a connoisseur and then understand how it works. And then from there, they can educate the people on their knowledge online, and then they can become content creators from that. So I feel like it's like a lot of different businesses that can come from you being a connoisseur in of anything, not necessarily just hemp, but anything, because it's just a lot of people may be interested in that, but they don't know how it works. So it's just kind of like that's where your expertise can come in. About like 70,000, somewhere around there. And that's just like with the build out and then buying everything that comes in, like that comes with the place, and then also buying inventory. So it was a mixture of my own money, and I have a cousin and I had a friend that pitched in. For this location, I pay about like $2,500 a month, and that just varies depending on what like the usage of the water or whatever, because it's part of the rent. Then I pay, so it's $2,000 base, and then it's $400 triple net, and then it is water bill, which like is a shared water bill. The best day on sales was probably about like 2,700. Then the worst day of sales was probably like 250 or something like that. I haven't recouped my initial cost yet, but over time it can be a very profitable business. But like, just like, once again, anything, you can start and build anything and make it to where it's very profitable for you. Everything is for sale. So it's to somebody, you just have to find your buyers. With my current trajectory, it will be profitable within the next year and a half. Because in a dispensary, we basically are regulated to a degree. So we basically have to have paperwork showing like, you have to have like a compliant, like we have a compliance binder. Our compliance binder, we have the, our licenses and all of this stuff in it, and our COAs, which is our certificate of analysis. So it basically tells us what what each of the products, like all of the lab results for each of the products, right? And it shows like if it has mold or anything. Like, so we buy clean products. We know our products are good and clean. You don't have to worry about someone selling you something that's not what they say it is, because like I said, we have paperwork on everything. Paragon, like, I feel like I want to set the standard in like branding, as far as like with the dispensary and merchandise, and like I want to build out a full like working brand and not just be a dispensary. So like, I'm not just here to just sell people hemp products. I'm here to build a solid, sustainable brand. And that's really the reason why I have these specifically. I used gummies to help my brother at one point. He broke both of his legs and both of his knees, so he was in severe pain. He ended up, he was only taking that stuff about a week. It was like kind of like reacting like a drug addict, because he was like, man, I can't take this. This making me feel like, he was like, this is making me feel like a drug addict. Like, I don't know. And he just stopped it one day. He just said, man, I can't take this no more. But he was just in so much pain. So I decided to like find like an alternative for him, and I got him some CBD gummies.